Hello and welcome to the Seniors Lit Show. My name is Tia Demo, and tonight we have a very, very extraordinary woman. She is a wife, a mother, a grandmother, and an avid community organizer. She is the co-founder of the Nigerian Canadian Association of Calgary. She's also the founder of Women of Vision Conference Calgary. She's a retired civil servant, community leader, advocate for family, women and children causes. She is a successful businesswoman, mentor, coach, and life skills facilitator. She's none other than Mrs. Moji Taiwo. Good evening, ma. Thank you
Good
so
evening.
much for coming on this show.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for that intro. I don't think I'm deserving of all of that, but
It's it's all
nonetheless, I
you.
thank you. Yeah, thank you. It's
It,
good to be here.
yes, and we've had this is not the first time we are talking or having a media chat like this, but this media chat is different because I wanted to share or hear your experiences, how you survived the pandemic, your
Oh
hopes
my.
during the recovery, the wisdom you have for us up and coming youths, and so on and so forth. So without much ado, we get back into it. The first question I want to ask you, Ma, have you been vaccinated?
Fully vaccinated. I got my first one in March and my second one in May. I was one
Awesome.
of those people waving the flag, saying, me, pick me, pick me.
Were you not scared of? Some people are scared they'll get turned into zombies. Some people are scared that is a sign of the end times, that they will die and rot in hell. Did you not have any of those considerations
Well,
when you
if you
decided to take the
Yeah,
vaccine?
yeah. I think the little you know of me so far, I'm not afraid of too many things.
No, it's true.
And especially I have extraordinary confidence in science
Mm.
and scientists. And thirdly, we are going to die when we are going to die.
Mm.
So with COVID, if we can prevent premature death or at least suffering before we die, why not?
Mm.
So I'm not I believe, and also this is what I tell people. I said this time last year when we are at the very peak of COVID infections, we were all praying and praying for vaccination. We were praying that we would get a break and on and on. And then the break came. And then we're saying that it came too fast. So what the hell do we want?
What sort of human beings are we?
Yes, we pray really hard and we get what God gives us, and then we say it's not good enough, or we find some reasons, whatever. So I really don't understand us sometimes.
A lot of I'm hearing that a lot of Black people are not taking the vaccines, and do you want to speak to why they may be hesitant right now? What is wrong with we Black people? Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I tend to go against the grains. I'm
Mm.
not always politically correct, and I make no apologies for that. Actually, when I got my first vaccine a week after, I think I posted on my social media that I'm still fine. And all they have to do is ask my husband. And he's prepared to tell people that I'm still opinionated and loud-mouthed. So the vaccine has not changed my DNA. And I took the second one and
Mhm.
I'm still here, you
Mhm.
know. So so what I say to our people, which is very sad on a serious note now, our people, we tend to embrace anything and everything. And when we embrace it, we take it to the extreme.
Mhm.
I've had people who are supposed to know better
Mhm.
sharing with me conspiracy theories.
Mm.
And I will bring them back and said, why do we think we vaccinate our children when they're born?
Mm. Mm.
It's because to
Mm.
prevent them from getting all those other diseases that has hailed and affected babies in the past, like polio, like
Oh, yeah.
leprosy,
Oh,
like
yeah.
all those chicken pox and
Mm.
smallpox and on and on. So we diligently and confidently hand our babies to out to be vaccinated, and yet we're afraid to be vaccinated now. So
Mm.
I don't see the difference there.
No sense. Well, some people say that we don't know the side effects of this vaccine that were made so hastily. That if we knew the side effects, that let's wait a couple of years, maybe 10 years down, when half the world has already been vaccinated, turn into turkeys and and mules, they will
I
get
mean,
vaccinated then.
that is nonsense, really, because if you look, let's say, for example, now we're in Alberta.
Mm.
As of yesterday, almost 75% of eligible people have taken the vaccination. Yet, the death rate keeps going down. The infection rate keeps going down. Don't you think by now, with
There's a link.
that many people vaccinated, if we're going to die, or if we're going to run mad, or if
We
our
would have been seeing
implant,
traces of that.
yes, we will have seen that.
Yeah.
The sad part is that our people that needs it the most are the ones that are subscribing to this nonsense. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that, you know, there is no adverse reaction. The same thing when I get the flu shot, I react to the flu shots when I get flu shots. Most people don't, but I react to it. This is not any different. My
Yeah.
first shot, I didn't have any reaction other than I slept for 3 days, and I welcome it because I generally don't sleep. Those 3 days was blissful because I will wake up, eat, go for my walk, come back, sit down, and I'm sleeping. At night,
Mm,
I slept through.
mm,
So it was welcome.
mm,
The
mm,
second one, I had a more active reaction. I had a really harsh headache in my sleep.
mm.
And I thought I can just sleep it off and, ignore it. But it kept getting worse. So I got up and I took 2 Tylenol, went back to sleep, and I was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. They do advise when you get the when you get vaccinated to have Tylenol around in case you get
Mhm.
a little feverish or whatnot. You know, to help settle down. In a
Yes.
nutshell, what would be your message to those who are hesitant right now about getting the vaccine? What would you say to them?
What I would say to them is, please, 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 don't take unnecessary chances with your life and the
Mm,
life of your loved ones. I personally know two people. I lost two people to COVID.
mm,
Very two close people I lost to COVID.
mm,
And so many others that I knew that were hospitalized, and two were in ICUs, and they were younger than me. The
mm,
people that were in ICU, and unfortunately, one of them I was actually worried about
mm,
because she was not following the protocols,
mm.
and I shared that concern with her. And then she reached out to me one day and said, Auntie, I'm in the hospital, I'm in ICU.
Eh, eh,
But thankfully, she survived and she's
praise God.
out.
Ah,
Yeah,
praise God.
yeah.
Praise God.
So please, Please
Mm,
don't take unnecessary chances.
mm,
Your God will still be here to be praised, to be worshipped. The same God
mm.
that gives us everything gave those scientists the brains
Oh yeah,
and the talent to be able to work so hard and relentlessly to give us this gift
that's true.
of the vaccine. Don't put yourself out to pasture for nothing.
Mm, mm. Ah, you've spoken with wisdom there. Don't put yourself out to pasture for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I'm just wondering, over the course of your lifetime, you've seen how we are affected negatively and positively by religion, and we greet our Muslim brothers and sisters who are celebrating Eid, I think it's Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak,
Eid
yes.
Mubarak. We greet you respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to comment on how religion may be influencing some of our people right now, influencing them in the sense that, oh, let's not maybe get the vaccine, maybe let's not do this, let's not do that. What have you seen over the course of your life?
Yes, I've seen, again, I don't, let's see. I've already said, I've put out a disclaimer that I'm not always politically correct, and that goes for religion as well. We seem to, anything that we seem to embrace it to the extreme.
Hmm,
Religions for Black people are, were introduced to us. Christianity, Islam were not originally ours.
hmm,
Yet, we take it to the extreme and practice it more than the people that introduce it to us,
hmm,
to our own detriment.
hmm,
We commercialize it, we make it to be a competition, a pastor becomes idolized.
hmm,
There are lots of pastors, actually, I know of a few where we came from that have succumbed to COVID, even though they preach against COVID. They said they cured COVID. They said there is nothing like COVID. And
hmm.
yet they succumbed to it. And unfortunately, one or two died of it.
Not sure.
You know,
Yeah,
so we really, everything in moderation, everything in moderation. You
yeah.
know, knowledge is here for us to acquire. When you hear about something, dissect it, ask questions from the professionals,
Hmm,
people who are trained in those areas.
hmm, hmm, hmm,
I said to one of my friends who said, when I shared that I took my first vaccine, she said, "Well, I don't trust it because I'm still watching." So we have a group of wise women, we call ourselves. So I asked her, I said, "Are you saying that people in this group should not get vaccinated?" And she said no, but she's not comfortable and she's going to watch. So what I said to her is that the last time I checked, she wasn't a scientist. She
hmm,
wasn't a microbiologist. She wasn't an immunologist. She wasn't, you were a nurse. So how do you claim authority in an area where you are not trained for?
hmm,
Pastors are pastors. They know the Bible. I'm assuming that they know the Bible. They study the Bible and they give it their own interpretation. I don't think they have authority on vaccine
hmm,
or on a pandemic.
hmm, hmm.
And that's what I would like our people to know, that, you know, we all have specializations in our own area.
It's true.
Somebody who runs a cleaning company, we know a lot more about cleaning chemicals, cleaning products, that somebody like me who just does the surface of this desk here and there.
Yeah.
So we all have our own specialization. It's when we start mixing, you know, all these things together, it become muddled up, and unfortunately, it costs us our lives along the way unnecessarily.
Mm, mm. Moim, I like when you say that, someone who deals with cleaning chemicals will know more. And I think many of us are not trained to think critically. When we hear what people say, oh, I'm gonna wait, we just without even questioning it, like you did with your friend. Last I checked, you were not a scientist, you're not a doctor. We're not asking of our friends who prefer these lazy ideas that I'm gonna wait. We're not questioning on what are they basing this authority? What
Yeah,
exactly do they know? How can they be confident in the face of death that they'll be fine and so on and so forth? Yeah, and I commend that is food for thought. Actually, I want to move on to. I know Calgary just finished the Stampede. Were you a part of that, Ma? Did you go out and hee ha?
no, I did not go out to Stampede because
Okay.
actually this will be, aside from the fact that it was canceled last year, this will be the first time in as many years I can remember that I did not go to Stampede.
All right.
And I didn't go to Stampede not because I wasn't comfortable. I didn't go because of the lockdown last year and early this year. I had so many social invitations. Uh, so I
All
couldn't
right.
fit Stampede into it this
Okay.
time. Mhm.
Okay. Now let's take it 17 months back, the pandemic. We've seen the light now. The pandemic has been declared over. The numbers are coming down. More and more people are getting vaccinated. How did you cope with the lockdown?
it
Take us
was
through that.
it
Yeah.
was really tough. It was, being a sociable person and a community person. It was really hard. I think the
Mm,
hardest for me was when summer came and we thought we were already over it, we're out, and then we had to go into lockdown again after summer.
mm,
That's when it really, really hit. At the beginning, it was hard too, because I would spend time inside the house. I'll be out walking in the cold. I was really, really getting ready. I couldn't wait for spring to come. I love gardening. So looking forward to gardening help. And we had to move some our meetings online. Oh, the biggest challenge off the bat was technology
mm.
for me.
It was for everybody. It wasn't easy doing Zoom. Come.
I resisted it initially because I
Mhm.
thought, oh, this pandemic thing, it's going to come to pass in no time. So I was resisting it, and soon after I realized that this thing is not going away. And
Yeah.
but in as much as it was a challenge, it also I also learned.
All right.
It charted me. It pushed me into uncharted territories.
Territories. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we were locked down. Movement was restricted. We couldn't see people. One other thing is I missed the contact with my grandsons,
Mm,
because
mm,
that first lockdown where we can't see the kids, oh, it was really bad. I
right.
really miss the grandkids.
Mm,
And the fear, being
mm,
afraid for
mm.
everybody. We're being
Yeah.
afraid for everybody because this thing, it's not reaching on anybody's forehead who
It's
has
true.
COVID. You don't know.
It's true.
You can't smell it, you can't taste it, you can't see it, you can't touch it, but it's there, and it was infecting everybody.
Oh yeah.
So that fear, you know, um, eh, or constantly thinking about my loved ones, especially the ones that are still working and they had to work.
Mm,
They were essential workers.
mm,
It created a lot of sleepless nights.
mm, mm,
Yeah, yeah.
mm. I get what you're saying with about the fear. And I remember during the time I had to force myself to stop listening to the news, because then you're watching CNN and it goes, oh, breaking news, 350,000 people dead in the United States. And I'll be thinking, wow, those numbers were huge. And then you come here and then the
Mhm.
numbers were just climbing up. It was really
And they're
difficult.
showing you the body bags.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have that on one side, and then you
Yeah.
have the naysayer on the other side.
Yeah.
It messes up with your head.
He does. He
Yeah,
does.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. It was really difficult. So, other than thinking about the spring that's come now and gone, how else did you keep hope? What were the practical strategies
Well,
that you?
getting used to technology, of course,
Right.
and moving everything online. So I
Okay.
became an avid virtual
Mm-hmm.
uh, Zoom person. So actually, all of our activities were moved online. The meetings from Nigerian Community Association, Yoruba Foundation, the Women of Vision, and
Okay.
we have a lot of educational learning sessions
Yeah.
that we had to move online. So that sort of kept us busy for the most part. And yeah, and not being able to see friends. That one was another one. So I spent most times online.
Yeah.
Everything is moved there, and actually also connecting with other people. I think our reach was actually expanded and it went beyond because of the online access. We
Yeah.
ran usually every summer. I run life skills programs for preteen and teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
2020 we weren't able to do that, and this year I'm not able to fully, um, but it, it, COVID forced us to be online, which actually allowed us to reach beyond Calgary.
Amen.
So we had this summer program last year, and we got people uh, from Korea and Japan.
Ooh.
Yeah, we
Ooh.
got kids from New York
Ooh.
joining. You know, so
Wow.
so it was kind of fun that way. And when we did the adults program, because around Christmas time, we did the seniors program. We
Mm.
did mental health program and physical wellness program. The physical wellness ended up actually supplementing or complementing the mental health program. We
Mm.
had seniors from different places joining up on Zoom for Zumba.
Ah,
So it was really good. Yeah,
ah.
it was usually women's program, but we had men, older men, or women bringing along their husband to join the Zumba, so we can see them in the background doing Zumba. So it was really fun. It
Yeah,
was
what we
really
what,
fun.
what we hear is, in the midst of desperate darkness, God always opens a door and shines the brightest of light. And
That's right.
I
That's
think
right.
in your story, that has been so true.
Yes. And, and
Um,
and that goes for our everyday lives.
mm,
When things get tough, don't just think about the toughness or the challenges. Flip it over and see if you can create some opportunities from those challenges. See, I'm a believer in that things happen for a reason. The reason is to force you to think beyond what's in front of you. And if you can do that, you will definitely turn corner.
hmm, hmm. That is so very wise, and that's so very true. And this is why, I was just writing there, because even me, I need nuggets, to power my own life. And I
Yeah.
think this is probably the gap that I was needing that you've just provided. Thank you. I want to ask you, you're a prolific writer. During the pandemic, did you write any books?
No, no books, but I was writing a show.
Oh, I want to hear. I want to hear. What sort
No
of show were
book.
you writing?
The show is called the Immigrant Experience.
Oh, is this for diversity?
It's for diversity.
Ah,
Yes.
right. Okay.
And it's going to premiere on July 20. When is the last day? The last Sunday in July. The
Hold
last
on.
Sunday in July.
I've got my working calendar here.
Yeah,
The last Sunday in July is the 25th.
25th. So it's going to launch on July 25th, and and
Congratulations.
every last Sunday of every month
So
thereafter.
have you recorded them in advance?
Some of them are
Ooh.
recorded, so we
Ooh.
do them like quarterly.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah.
Oh,
So
well
so the
done.
first one will be released on the 25th of July, and every
Okay.
last Sunday of the month from there on.
Congratulations. What
So
should
thank
we?
you.
I didn't know we'll be promoting the immigrant experience for diversity.
Yeah. So it's the
Oh, that's
Immigrant
so sweet.
Experience
What's
show,
it
and
about?
it's basically telling our stories, the struggles, the challenges that we
Mm,
face,
mm,
and the
mm,
successes that we
mm,
come along with, and of course tidbits,
mm,
advices for people who are listening, who are newcomers or who have
mm,
been here for some time, and they are the crossroads. Basically
mm.
just hearing from people who are
Yeah.
first generation, second generation,
Mm,
sandwich generation,
mm,
you know,
mm.
yeah. And
Eh,
from that's the whole premise of the show. But as time goes on, we'll be going into other areas,
yes,
just bringing ideas and empowerment and encouragement
to
to
people.
to immigrants, so that they know that they're not alone.
Okay, I promise you, I'll be out. I'll be looking. I cannot wait to see it now, and I feel a bit jealous that Franklin snapped you before we could get you.
And this happened during the pandemic.
What an incredible opportunity!
I was looking for a way to promote my book, as you know, that
Yeah,
I wrote my book, and
yeah.
earlier in the pandemic, I think it was in April, just
Mm-hmm,
when the restrictions were just coming.
mm-hmm.
That's when we started talking about this and brainstorming, and I started working on it and things
Right.
like that. And it came full circle, even though I stalled many times, because again,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
afraid. I
Mm,
didn't want to bring people out into a situation where I myself was not comfortable with.
yeah.
And so I had to stall and stall, and it was
So
12 months
how
later.
how did you record it then? Was it over Zoom or
No, it was in person.
it was in person? Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So my preference was
Mhm.
is in person.
It's always better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that's why, well, one of the reasons why I was stalling
Mm.
for this. And maybe it's also selfish of me. That's why I was rooting for the vaccine and promoting
No,
people
no,
to
it's,
get
I mean, we don't
vaccinated.
want to be pasteurized, man. We all want to live forever.
But
Nobody, yeah, and we grandchildren,
mhm.
you want to see your grandchildren get into university, get married, have children, be
Yes,
right here for them.
and
It's the
there is
right thing to
nothing like
do
freedom.
as well. Yeah,
The little things we take for granted, just being able to just step out of your car
yeah,
into a grocery store,
Yeah.
without having to
Yeah.
worry about, is there something in the hair that
Lexi.
I'm saying?
Ah,
Just
oh
simple
yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, today it felt really uncomfortable. We went into Costco and we didn't have face
Face
mask. And I
mask.
asked the attendant at the door, please, do you have a mask we can borrow? She said no. I had to go back and search my car because I didn't feel normal. And this is what the pandemic does. Maybe
This
over
does.
time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you my final question. Congratulations again on the Immigrant Experience
Thank you.
debuting on July 25th. We'll be out watching, waiting for that. When, in terms of legacy, you know, so this is about your grandchildren. When they are asked to describe grandma, what do you think they will say about their grandma?
That Oh, that's a big question. That I am adventurous. I
Mm,
am adventurous. I don't take no for an answer.
mm,
I In front of me, I don't think there is anything that's impossible.
mm.
Even though if it's not me doing it, I will find a way to get somebody else to do it.
To get done.
So to get it done. So I want them to know that I am fun loving. I
Mm,
love having fun. I
mm,
love traveling. I love to laugh, and I I will want them to be kind to people, to anybody. And one of my hashtags is be kind for no reason,
mm,
you know?
mm,
So I will
mm.
want them to be kind, to know that their grandmother I will go out of my way to be kind to people.
That's right. That's
But
right.
I'm also a no nonsense person.
Mhm.
So
Of course, for sure. And then what's left on your bucket list for 2021?
oh, I haven't begun yet.
Let's go there.
I I I've already been to two parties. I have two for this weekend coming. Uh, I've already booked for New York. I've booked for Cancun. So
Ooh.
yeah,
Oh, I love you so much,
yeah,
Mrs. Taiwo. You've done us very well, and I'm really grateful. Each time we call you, you answer us. Thank you so very much for honoring the invite to come on the Seniors Lead Show tonight, and also for giving a good mention to Mrs. Ojamakinde. We're really very grateful. Thank you.
you're
So,
very
without much
welcome.
ado, we've gone over time. We need to let you go.
Already? Oh
I don't know
my.
how long. Do you want to keep
Okay.
going? I could go.
No, it's okay. Whatever you want.
I didn't want to keep you too long, just in case you have other appointments. I
No,
wanted to respect your time.
whatever you want.
Okay. Whatever I want.
That's right.
I wanted to ask if maybe down the line it would be possible for you to do something with LCC Media too.
Let's think about it. Let's think about it. Let's talk
So
about it.
it's not Faith, it's just Franklin.
The one thing the one thing that I always tell people is because
Never say never.
no, because I love having fun.
All right.
Whatever I do must give room to me to have fun.
All right. I see what you're
So
saying.
so like I said, I love to travel. The pandemic, sort of put a restriction on it. So we're coming out full fledged. Anything and everything that I do, I believe in living a balanced lifestyle.
Mm,
My
mm,
fun
mm,
activities
mm.
will have to be incorporated into anything that I
So,
do.
what's your fun activity then?
I love partying. I love, outdoor activities,
Activities.
traveling,
Okay.
adventure, even within the local areas. And
Okay.
of course, I love to travel.
All right.
Yeah.
All
So
right. Oh, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
And there's also one thing, if you were to write a letter and the letter would be uncovered in another 50 years, what would you put in the letter?
I will put in there that I live to learn and to share.
Mm,
I
mm,
live to learn
mm,
and
mm,
to share.
mm,
And I believe that the talent, the gift that my creator gave me, I'm using it wisely and I'm using it well. And I will have no regrets. If I should die tomorrow, I won't have any regrets.
If you were
Actually,
to, okay, sorry, go on.
carry on, carry on. Yeah.
No, no, actually, I want to hear actually.
Actually, this again, this is not too common with our people. My will and my um, burial memorial, everything is set up.
Right.
So, so I'm really not afraid of dying because I make the best of every day. I believe that every single day that we're here is a gift to us.
Mm,
And therefore I optimize my time
mm.
on this earth.
You optimize your time.
Yeah.
Do you know this thing you said about planning your funeral? A lot of we black people we something we don't want to talk about. We are we're superstitious. Don't talk about cremation. Don't talk about aftercare. Don't talk about what happens at your demise, like the songs you want to be played. Sorry, some noise from downstairs. Don't talk
I,
about this. And how are you able to talk about all these things without
well,
the
well,
cultural
the
pull?
culture. I tell people two things are for sure: we're born and we must die,
All right,
and we have no control over either one of them,
all right.
right? And since I'm a control freak in certain ways, I would like to know how I go out, and I would like
Mm.
to go out in style,
Oh yeah.
But that's me joking though.
All right.
On a serious note, um, I don't know why we're so afraid. If we're such a believer, if we're believers, why are we afraid?
Mm, 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 mm,
You
mm.
know what I mean? If
Yeah.
if we have faith,
Do you mean if we believe in God, why are we
if we
so
believe
scared?
in God, why are we so scared?
All right.
If we have faith, why are we so scared?
I mean, do you know one of the most difficult conversations? I don't know if this has happened to you and your kids, where they say, okay, when you die, who gets the house? Who gets, if you have land in Nigeria, in VI, in in Lekki, which child is getting the Mercedes, mom? That itself is a difficult conversation. How
I
did you
I
navigate
I
that?
I have had that conversation with my kids. Unfortunately, my kids are they are doing good on their own,
Oh,
right? So even when we started having that conversation, they just look at me weird and say, "We don't want anything.
mm,
Just enjoy your money. You work hard for it."
mm, okay.
Then of course I said, "Yeah, but I have so much. There's going
Mm,
to be leftovers." I
yeah.
was joking, of course. They know I was joking. I said, "I have so much, there'll be leftovers for you." No, what we've done is we've discussed it that there is also one thing that's for sure in death is that you pay taxes.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't plan, your children or whoever you left will have to settle your taxes with the government.
Mm,
So it's better you plan so
mm,
that they know where that money to pay taxes is going to come from.
mm,
And of course, I don't want to burden my children with the
mm,
cost of burial. I want to make sure that everything is in place so that when it's time that I'm being called home and I'm gone, they will be mourning my loss. I don't want them to be mourning and be stressed over finances
No, it's true.
and other decisions that might be difficult for them to make because I've made all those decisions by myself while I'm here. And I told them where it is.
It's the right thing to do. I think it's the more modern way to approach, end of life demise and things like.
Yeah.
It's very sobering.
It's so great. I have 3 children. Two
Sobering.
of them are okay. One is saying, I don't know why you're talking about this and whatever. And I said, well, I'm talking about it.
I'm a daughter. It's a difficult one to have with my mom because
Yeah.
I think my mom will ask, "So what is it you want now?"
No,
It's
no, no, I didn't ask them what they wanted. But
it's a difficult topic to bring up. I'm telling you what my mother said to me. What do
okay.
you want? What do you want? What is it you need now? Is it now my property? It's just uncomfortable. Makes it made me look stupid. It's a
Well,
difficult one to approach. Yeah.
well, if the conversation is started by your mom, like it was started by me,
Then
then it's
yeah,
easier.
yeah.
But if it's coming from a child to the parent, it's
So
very,
you look
very
greedy.
difficult.
He looks greedy. What do you want?
Yes, yes, yes. Or
Yeah.
you can say, I don't want anything.
Yeah.
I just want you to have a say in what we do for
Yeah.
you when you are not here.
Yeah, and that's the liberal way. That's
Hmm.
the right way to,
Yeah.
because so many people here in Edmonton, you just see on WhatsApp, there's a GoFundMe, and then they're trying to get GoFundMe to
So,
pay for funeral costs, and it happens so
so
often.
often.
You're wondering, yeah,
Yes, yes, it's here in Calgary too. It's happening so often. But there are some of us who have been here. I shouldn't say a long time because there are some who have been here a long time that doesn't share. But there are
mm,
some of us who are
mm,
liberal thinking that are now also teaching the younger ones and
yeah, the
saying,
right way
take
to,
it from us. You have longer time to plan. If our own children um, are saying we don't need anything from you, that's because they don't want to give us anything. You can imagine by the time your children comes around,
mm, oh
they
yeah,
probably won't be around. So you better
mm,
start planning your life.
oh yeah, oh
you
yeah,
know so
yeah,
so but the idea of GoFundMe, it's kind of, for me and my group that I'm talking about,
mm.
even we talk about it among ourselves, it's kind of demeaning.
It's
Like,
demeaning. It's
yes,
demeaning that
like
people have to pay
you've
for.
been here all these years.
Mm,
um you can't really get your life together enough
mm.
that, yeah.
And then some people talk about sudden deaths, like Iko I didn't know, they didn't know, or like long-term illness that prevented them from making the right plans. A sudden accident, or a sudden death
Well,
from COVID. In
there
that
is
case,
there is a reason why they said there is insurance.
mm.
Insurance is for accidentals.
And there's insurance. True, I forgot.
Insurance are for accidentals, right?
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
insurance are for accidentals.
Yeah, that's your life insurance. Okay.
Yes, there's disability insurance, there's life insurance, there's auto insurance, there's medical insurance, and on and on and on. And we also say to people, from some of the mistakes we've made, because we made a lot of mistakes too, because when we came to Canada, we were going to study and just go back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
But then we found ourselves being here longer. So by the time we actually caught on or
Settled.
accepted the fact that this is home, we've missed a lot of opportunity to get into insurance and to build educational fund and trust
Mm,
funds for the
mm,
kids. And so
mm,
we had to quickly regroup and catch up. And
mm.
yet some people refuse to catch up. They rather go and buy that land, uh, and or build that house that takes them 20 years to build in Nigeria, and still
Yeah,
there's no end to it,
yeah.
you know.
This
So
thing,
so
yeah, okay, sorry. Sorry,
so
go on.
you learn and you adjust as you go along.
Yeah, this thing that you said, I think may even be the deadliest plague amongst us Black people. The fact that mentally we are not here. Some of us are, in Nigeria, in Ekpe, in
Mhm.
Shagamu, in Abakaliki, we are in Zaria.
Mhm.
That's where we are. So if we're there, how do we settle here? And so we live like nomads here, and we're not fully living here.
No.
Yeah.
and
You
and,
know
and
the
that's
system
that's
to that.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's because we are not being realistic. I
Mm.
know it's hard. I know it's hard to leave one's home and to want to adopt a foreign home as your home. But I tell people to remember that there is a reason you left home to come here in the first place. If home serves your purpose 100%, you will not be here. That's right. And some of us came as students and our home was good. But by the time we finish our education, we realized that what we thought was a perfect system was actually not, because we
Yeah,
now have a frame of reference.
that's true.
And then we held out for better tomorrow
Oh,
and kept hoping for a better tomorrow, and it didn't come.
yeah.
But we had to reach a point where you realize that, okay, I've waited enough for this better tomorrow. Let me start living today.
Mm.
If better tomorrow comes, fine. I will sell everything and then I'll move on.
Now jump in.
Yes. But if better tomorrow doesn't come, at least I have something here.
Mm. Mm.
Most of us did not come to that decision.
Mm.
We still held out, unwavering, uh, commitment to that better tomorrow,
Mm.
neglecting today that's in front of us.
And unfortunately for some, the better tomorrow never shows up,
No.
because it's only as today is only as good as it gets, isn't it? I want you to leave us with, other than your book, one book that has blessed your life and you like to share with us, for us to go read.
Mm, the one that comes to mind right away would be Oprah Winfrey's book that says, What I Know for Sure.
Mm.
What I know for sure. Because in life, there are so many things that we don't know.
Mm.
But as we go through our lives, we will come along and find one thing that we know for sure because we've lived it, right? So in my case, and taking from that book, what I know for sure is that I am responsible for my own happiness and my
Mm.
own destiny.
Mm. Is this what Oprah Winfrey says she knows for sure?
That's what I know for sure.
I'm gonna
but
go find it.
it's a
Serious.
little book and it says
Yeah.
what I know for sure.
Mm. Oh, that's interesting. What I know, everyone has to know something. Oh,
Yes.
Mrs. Taiwo, I will let you go. You've done us
Okay.
so well. I will love you
Okay.
sincerely. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
Thank you for
For
having me.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for having
honoring this invitation. Thank you for your wisdom, the generosity of your time, and the goodwill you bring to us, and
Thank you.
you share to your friends and family. So thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, so everyone will see you next time. Thank you again.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good night now,
Bye
ma.
bye now. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Mhm.